5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Colin Hopkins.
And I'm Lydia Campbell, and welcome to episode 16 of Lisburn Distillery TV.
On today's episode, we'll be hearing from not one, but two distillery shot stoppers, one of whom holds a club record for the number of clean sheets.
We will also be reviewing last weekend's disappointing performance against Limavady United.
We'll be reviewing the Premier Intermediate League results from last Saturday, and also giving you the latest update on the Colin vs Lydia Forecast Challenge.
Finally, we'll be looking ahead to this weekend when the Whites take on Donegal Celtic, but also when we have the visit from our Scandinavian Supporters Club, who have made the journey the whole way from Northern Europe.
So first up in tonight's episode, making his debut on Lisburn Distillery TV, it's with great pleasure that we welcome the club's record shot stopper, Phil Matthews.
During his time at the club, Phil made no less than 395 appearances, and during this time managed to achieve a massive 118 clean sheets, which is surely a record that won't be easily broken.
With such a fantastic record, we thought it only fair to invite Phil into the studio, and here's what he had to say when Lydia got over.
So Phil, thanks for joining us tonight on LDTV. You played for Lisburn Distillery for 11 seasons. You also made well over 300 appearances. What are your main highlights or memories from those seasons?
The main highlights is always sort of the matches you play in. As I said to myself, you always look forward to the big occasions. There's cup games, semi-finals, finals. We got to a final, won a final. But basically it was just for the club. I loved just playing for the club.
You played with some fantastic players here at Lisburn Distillery, some of the big names from the past. Who, when you look back, who were the main players while you were here?
When I was here, probably Wayne Buchanan was the club captain at the time, and he had a spell in England, and he came home. Kirker signed him. Him and Paul Muir were two superb defenders. So those are probably the main ones. Darren Armour was always the golden boy. He's always scored the goals at the other end of the pitch. And then towards the end of my career, Glenn Ferguson joined the club.
You also, at your time here, you made the record for the most clean sheets, 118 clean sheets, which is an unbelievable amount considering you were nearly on 400 games. What did you put that down to? Was it defence? Was it, what actually causes you to get that many clean sheets?
It's hard work. I had a good goalkeeping coach, and Reggie Hillen joined. Again, it was a lot of the boys in front of me. They were sort of the main reason. The goalkeeper can only save the shots, but it's up to the guys in front. But as I say, the back four I had for 4 or 5 years were magnificent. We finished, I think, 3rd, 4th, 5th in the league every season, and that's a credit to the team and the players.
While you were here, the club was in the Intertoto Cup, but you actually never played in any of the away games due to family commitments. Is that something that you regret looking back on, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, the family always came first, because say with me being playing football, we were training 3 nights and every Saturday. So when it came to the family time, it was sort of once the school's finished, we're away for 2 weeks holiday or 3 weeks holiday. But it's always nice to try and play in Europe, but I always got the home games. At that time they signed other keepers to cover, but it's fine. He said I can live with not playing in Europe, but it was just, that to me, that was the family time when I was playing football.
You also have a very unusual record here in that you actually scored a goal. Not many goalkeepers can say that. How did that actually come about?
It was the last match of the season. We were home to Bangor, and just got a penalty kick, and it was about 5 minutes ago, and I just shouted over, "Gaffer, any chance?" Next thing he said, "Give him the nod." So I actually took the ball off Darren Armour, went up, and Paul Key was in net for Bangor, and he sort of looked at me, and two of us just had a wee snigger, and I just hit it straight up the middle and goal.
I think you're quite fortunate that you did score that, or you would never have heard the end of it, I imagine. You also have there's a bit of a story from one of the European games in that you pulled a bit of a Wayne Shaw, if we want to think of it that way, the Sutton goalkeeper from a couple of weeks ago. Do you want to shed a wee bit of light on that?
I blame Dennis, the burger man at the time. I was on the bench and we'd made all our subs, and I shouted over, I was just warming up just to keep warm, and I said, "Keep me a burger." And then 2 minutes later he says, "It's ready." So he came out of the back of the van, and I was stretching, and he just handed it over the wall. So I still haven't paid him for it yet.
Did anyone spot you do that? Is your manager or anything?
I was too cute. I just kept stretching.
Brilliant. That is a class story. I absolutely love that. There's not many people can say they've done that on the European football stage. Well, Philip, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
So Lydia, what did you make of Phil Matthews then?
I thought he was great. A real Lisburn Distillery legend, you know what I mean? And you could tell how much he loves this club. Coming in, walking around the changing rooms, walking around the boardroom, looking at these pictures that we have on the wall, and you could just tell that the club played a really important part in his life.
Yeah, I must admit I really enjoyed meeting him as well. I mean, as a youngster I always dreamt of being a goalkeeper, and whereas I wasn't a bad young goalkeeper, unfortunately I never grew up, so that was my dreams crushed, unfortunately.
Disaster.
Do you think there's a bit of madness required to be a goalkeeper?
I think there is a bit, yeah. I mean, I think with strikers you're going to get a lot of chances to score, but goalkeepers you don't get that many opportunities to really shine. So in other words, you're maybe waiting for that once in a lifetime opportunity of saving a penalty in a cup final, or you know, a lot of what goalkeepers do just gets completely overlooked. But you know, in my opinion, I think it's probably the most important position on the pitch. If you have a solid goalkeeper, that's what you build everything else on. So
good call.
Very important position. Well, with this in mind, keeping with the goalkeeper theme, we decided to catch up with another Lisburn Distillery goalkeeper, this time in Jack McCrea, who was recently recalled to the team but was faced with the daunting task of facing Limavady United, who have certainly not been shy of the goals recently.
It was a hard comeback for Jack, unfortunately, at the weekend, as the Whites were swept aside by 5-0 at the Limavady Showgrounds.
We now have the match highlights from the game, and afterwards Colin caught up with Jack just to hear what he had to say, and especially thinking back to him coming back from his massive head injury in the game against Portstewart at the start of the year.
Okay, Jack, first of all, thank you very, very much for joining us here in Lisburn Distillery Television today. Welcome back to the team as well. It's been a while since you've actually been back. Disappointing way to come back, though, on the wrong end of a 5-0 scoreline.
Yeah, obviously it's been frustrating enough season, starting off, but, I love it here. The management, the lads, training, everything's brilliant. And that's why I want to stay to try and get back into the team. And, I think we shot ourselves in the foot today. We played a very, very good side, but we give ourselves every chance. Nil each at half time. We dug into man, we were superb, and if you probably look at the first 2 goals, we tried to play it from the back when we probably should have just went long. The second one obviously was a free kick, but you know, it's always going to be an uphill task when you give away goals like that, especially at this level.
You're quite right in saying that. I mean, up to that first goal, we were well in the game. Okay, yes, we were on the defensive for most of the game, but you're up against a very good side. But just a one silly mistake, so we've let them right back in the game.
Exactly, and that's what it is at this level. You know, if you're going to give yourself a chance of winning, you have to, you know, minimise all that. And even at 1-0, you know, we still feel we're in the game. All it takes is one moment of brilliance, a free kick, a penalty, whatever, you know. So we just have to go again, go to training Tuesday, Thursday, and keep the head down, and hopefully pick up 3 points next week at DC.
Even though it was a disappointing result today, obviously, I mean, it's still a lot better outcome than it was the last time we came to the Northwest when you were in nets and ended off having to go to hospital. Fully recovered from that? Yeah,
that's well, maybe I wouldn't mind forgetting that game, another bump ahead after that, but you know, like I said, the lads joking about that at a hospital booked on standby bed, but you know, it's good. It's always good to be playing, and obviously today it's a tough one to take. But you know, I have to hopefully just go back training, keep my head down, and we'll see how we go again. At least we'll get home in time. You know.
DC away next week doesn't get any easier. Of course, all the games are hard at this league. It's a hard pitch to go to, hard ground to go to. Thoughts on that one?
Big time, yes. We just, as I said, you know, up there. I think we owe them one. You know, we didn't give ourselves justice when we played them at home. They beat us 3-2, and obviously with 3 games left before the split, you know, we need everyone just to stand up and be counted for, and all we can do is go again. You know, it's old saying, but hopefully next week we'll put it right.
It's a difficult one to take. What did you make of it?
Once again, you end up full of optimism, came home full of defeatism, so to speak, a 5-0 tanking, and yet it was I wouldn't say game of 2 halves. I mean, certainly they were by far the better side. You could see clearly why they were the league leader. They controlled the game from the first minute to the last. But having said that, we held them out for 50 minutes. Our team was bereft of a lot of senior players on Saturday. With no Curley, with no Doherty, with no Sticky Eslop, you know, and there's a whole pile of senior players not available for one reason or another. So with a lot of kids in the team. But to their credit, they all stood up, you know, did for the team. We held them for 50 minutes. So the thing is, the annoying thing I think was that on 50 minutes we've been playing so well, and then one stupid mistake. We tried to play the ball out from the back, which rather than just lump it up and get it away, we tried to play it out. We conceded possession. They went in, scored the first goal. The whole game then changes completely around. And I think the other frustrating one was the third goal. If you watch the highlights there, it's our corner. We knocked the ball into the area. They had it clear and proceeded to work all the way up the pitch, pass into the back of our net from our corner, which is very frustrating. But it was annoying because we did so well for that first 50 minutes, and then just the last 40 we just collapsed a wee bit. So.
Yeah, I mean, there are positives to take. I mean, if you look at the league table, we're still in 7th place. There is still a lot to play for here. You know, more than just pride. We have points and positions to take up here. The other thing is we have to be realistic. I mean, this team are flying at the top of the league and have probably 2 of the best strikers in the league.
Yeah, by far.
You know, realistically, if you look at the goal scoring records of the 2 of them, I mean, phenomenal. And we have maybe 2-3 of our most experienced defenders out.
Yeah, so there's always going to be a hard one.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, anyway, either way, we'll just put that one to bed. So we'll move on to the next weekend, which sees the Whites go to Donegal Celtic in the next Premier Intermediate League match, and we'll have some details on that game later in the show. So next up in today's show, we're going to be looking back to the Premier Intermediate League results from last weekend.
Probably the ones that stick out, Colin, are probably the Queen's University victory against Dundela. I mean, that's a massive one for them in the relegation playoff spot there.
Very much so.
Massive. But then the other one was, of course, classic. Sport and Leisure had their game postponed again. So which sort of knocks up the fixture list a wee bit.
I wouldn't like to be the league trying to sort that one out. I mean, Sport and Leisure have now had several games yet again for the second season in a row postponed at home, and it certainly seems to be a problem at their pitch, unfortunately. But it does give a big headache. I mean, they have 6 games now to complete before the split can actually take place. So I don't know how it's going to affect the Whites and other teams, but we'll see how that all pans out.
You know, I feel a little bit for those players as well, because they're going to have to play. Well, yeah, it is frustrating. I mean, training's one thing, but I mean, it's about the matches. It's about the match fitness and sharpness, and But they're going to have to play maybe 3 games a week.
Yeah, well, that's what happened last season. I had to play 3 games a week for the last few weeks of the
Rough,
season. So
very rough.
Tough going for any side, you know.
Well, Colin, how's that overall affected our own forecast challenge then?
Well, we didn't do too bad at the weekend for once. You forecasted one game correctly. You said Bangor to win. I actually did forecast the Queen's win, it has to be said. No correct scores, unfortunately, but it finished 1 point each. So we're now, Lydia has 20 points. I've got 16.
Okay.
I'm still hanging in there, so to speak.
Okay.
But
4 points still.
4 points, and the games are running down, but I'm still optimistic I can catch you back.
We'll see. We'll have a little look at the fixtures this week then. So, just the 4 games this weekend?
4 games plus ourselves, which obviously we don't forecast.
Yeah, we don't forecast ours. So the first game up there is Dundela against Newington. Would you like to go first there?
That's another toughie to call. I was surprised. Not really surprised, but I'm disappointed, not even the word, because I picked up the point. So Dundela at home is always hard to beat. I think they might just about defeat Newington. I can see that being Dundela 2, Newington 1.
I'm going to go Dundela as well, but I'm going for a very narrow victory, 1-0.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. Second one there on the list is Moyola Park against Newry City.
Okay, so sorry, I'm just looking at the score again, or the league table. I'm going to say it's a hard place to go there, Moyola. I'm going to say 2-0 Moyola.
I think that might be a draw. I'm going to go for Moyola 2, Newry 2.
Okay, right. Queen's Tobermoor. Oh, that's a big game.
Big game indeed. Queens have proved that they can win results, and I think that their confidence is now starting to lift a little bit. Whenever we have played them this season, they haven't been a bad side, to be honest. I can see Queens sneaking a home win there. I'm going to go for Queens 2, Tobermoor 0.
Okay, I'm going to go for a draw actually. I'm going to go, it's going to be a nervy one. I'm going to say 1-1.
Okay, and the last one then, Sport and Leisure Swifts, if it goes ahead of course, Sport and Leisure Swifts at home to the league leaders, Limavady United.
Okay, to be fair, I feel like Sport and Leisure will try their best to disrupt Limavady, but I don't think they're going to last the whole game. I'm going to say 2-0 Limavady.
I'm going to say, if the game goes ahead, that Limavady will win by 4-1.
Ooh, okay.
We'll see how that pans out.
Yes. Hopefully I'll be further in front this time next week.
For those who haven't really been watching the show, I mean, the forecast challenges were myself and Lydia try and predict the scores of the Premier Intermediate League games. If we get the correct score, we get 3 points. If we get the correct forecast, e.g. home 1 or away, we pick up 1 point. So that's the way that the scores are forecast. And at the end of the season, the loser has to wear the shirt of the other one's favourite English league club. So if I win it, Lydia has to wear a Chelsea shirt, and if Lydia wins it, then I have to wear a Fulham Football Club shirt. So we'll see how that pans out during the rest of the season. And we'll give you an update again next week. So this week sees the return visit of the Lisburn Distillery Scandinavian Supporters Club, who are making the journey all the way across from Europe to watch the game against Donegal Celtic.
So Colin, when I first came to the club last summer and you told me there was a Scandinavian Supporters Club, I honestly couldn't tell if you were pulling my leg or not. Whether you were trying to figure out, was I gullible or something, I'm not really sure. So that's an incredible story, having a Scandinavian Supporters Club.
It's completely bizarre. It really is. I mean, and you're not the only one that sort of ask the questions. I sort of tell people about it and they say, nah, there's no way. But basically the story behind it is back in 2010, there's their founder member Jan Tholen decided that he wanted to follow a football team with an unusual name, so he went onto the internet, did a bit of googling, and lo and behold came across Lisburn Distillery, read a wee bit about the club, was fascinated by the club's history, got in touch with us to say, look, would you have any objection if we set up a supporters club in Scandinavia? We said, no, go ahead. I think this guy was maybe
bonkers,
not quite there, but lo and behold he contacted his mates, they set up a website, before we know it, there's a whole pile of members, and I think the current total is around about 40 members they have in total, which is phenomenal. These guys, they don't even live close to each other, like they live all over Scandinavia, hundreds of miles between them, and they keep in touch via the internet and stuff, so it's truly bizarre.
It is, but it's amazing as well, and it's something that, you know, I can tell that the club's really proud of. So what's the plans then for the weekend? What are you doing with them?
Well, they're arriving, most of them are coming in on Friday. The plan is to take them to the Ecklandville Distillery on the Friday afternoon for a few samples and a guided tour of the distillery. Out in the town on Saturday night, or Friday night should I say, look out Belfast is all I'll say to that.
Oh dear.
And then Saturday they come up for a bit of a guided tour around the ground and they meet the manager, and then heading over to the match at Donegal Celtic and then back onto the town again on Saturday night. So we're doing a bit for Northern Ireland tourism as well.
Definitely.
As well as giving the boys a good time as well when they're here. So we're really looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah, sounds like a brilliant weekend, and I'm sure there's going to be lots of banter there as well. So looking forward to it. Well, if you would like to join the Scandinavians at our away game against Donegal Celtic, that is taking place this Saturday. That's the 25th of March. Kick-off's at 3 o'clock, and in general, as usual, we would absolutely love to see you there.
So that's about it for another episode of Lisburn Distillery TV.
Yes, once again, thank you for everyone who was watching, and we just thought it was right to plug the people of the past week who have gotten in touch with us. First of all, Dave McCrea said he's really enjoying LDTV. Thank you very much, Dave.
Thanks for that,
and then our old friend Jason Gaddy's all the way from the USA messaging just saying that he's enjoying the show still. Thanks very much, Jason, one of our biggest fans overseas, I think. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, just really on behalf of Lydia and myself, once again, thank you so much to everybody who watches the show. We really do appreciate your support, and hopefully we can rely on the months and years ahead.
Yeah, definitely.
In the meantime, thanks for watching Lisburn Distillery TV, episode 16. I've been Colin Hopkins.
I've been Lydia Campbell. Come
on,
you
you
whites.
whites.